Hello and welcome to Mount Shasta. And Jules and I are here with our dear friend Asil. And we want to share some of the amazing things that have been happening for both the Stargate and Asil's group. And we're bringing both these groups together right now around the world.
And so we're calling this live stream Status Update Earth Ascension. And our goal here is to tap in to both our humanness and our sense of what's been happening in the world of spiritual awakening, and also tap into the perspective of the guides.
What does it mean to go through an ascension process and witness the polarization or the chaos around us while trying to be in center and up level and be in service to humanity? We really want to just deliver in our experience what that looks like, and also feel into what it is that we need as a collective and as groups that are coming together around the world.
Yeah, Alcazar for months, or actually years, has been talking about community. And over these years, we've built many, many thousands of people in the Stargate community. And many of the people that are in the Stargate are also with Ascension One. And we're bringing groups together. And it's about this combining, joining, creating a larger field of oneness on a very physical, practical level, as well as expanding out into the larger experience of what does oneness actually mean.
In some ways, these gatherings, wherever they take place around the world, when we tap into that deep state of oneness, and there is almost like a ripple effect that goes across the planet. And when there is, the greater the fields are that these groups are holding, that we are holding, the stronger the ripples that are across the collective and the consciousness. And I do believe that makes a huge difference. Otherwise, we wouldn't be being told by higher forms of consciousness that that's very important and very relevant. And it feels very important and very relevant.
Yeah.
The other thing is that as we work with different presenters, for many of you know, we've been working with Vivienne Chauvet. I can't speak French very well. So we're creating this coming together. And that's very much against what's happened in the past. And it's letting go of the boundaries that we tend to create, not just in the work that we're doing, but in our personal lives.
And so, in a sense, it's as if the Stargate community has been tapping the quantum field, creating this oneness. We've literally been connecting around the world for years now in our meditations. And so has Asil's community with Evolution One. And so these two quantum fields are kind of like merging. And whenever two waves come together, it creates an amplification. So, Asil, do you want to say a little bit about who you are and your work?
Sure. So, my name is Asil. With Evolution One, we're a nonprofit that operates the work of the guides, which are angelic guides, and the Elohim, to deliver this upgrade of human consciousness, of the individual, to be in service to humanity's awakening. It's like a super essential time, as we all know, and the energies are rising. It's getting very potent, right? Every full moon, every new moon, every solar flare, like there are so many of those. It's getting so strong. So how do we receive that energy without it creating more that destabilization or volatility? How can we become centerpieces in humanity, in our communities, so we have these unwavering lights no matter what happens in the fluctuations that occur? So that has led us to create pillars of light around the world and earth keepers around the world who work with the energetic grid of the planet. As you guys have the grid of the Stargate, we have the so-called Ascension grid that is established on top of sacred sites. So they're basically saying if energy is stagnant on the planet in certain areas, that field cannot hold a high frequency. And that can be changed and alchemized by the sacred sites of that region or by cleaning collective trauma sites of that region. So we developed these, incredible earth keepers that basically go around the world or collectively project their consciousness to a sacred site to deliver an attunement to that site. And we believe through that, and we feel that the field in certain regions starts to adjust, holds a different space for that consciousness, for the individuals in that space to be able to tap into the non-dual states that we have already been doing.
Mm-hmm.
And as you know, it's very simple. The way I explain it to individuals that don't have spiritual background, right? And everyone here does. But let's assume there is someone you want to talk to about this crazy work that we do. I say, if you go into a room in which there has been, a fight or years of anger and worry and sadness, you'll feel it's dense, right? There's a sense of, oh, this is feeling a little dense and heavy and so on. And that heaviness is very strong in places of collective trauma. And when you go into a home where there has been a lot of happiness and joy, you feel the lightness. When you go into a temple where prayers has been done for thousands of years, you feel the opening, right? That's the different fields that are established by the energy of humans. And that is very strong in sacred sites and collective trauma sites in opposite directions, right? And in that sense, the work is obviously very big, but also very important. And I love for us, whenever we come together, there's like an easy way of co-creating. It's like, it almost fits like a glove, it's perfectly connecting. And it's seamless for me personally. When I feel the energetics and also the resonance, it feels seamless. The same way I feel like there's almost no differentiation when I feel Stargate people or Evolution 1 people, and we have an overlap of people, right? It's very seamless. And that's what I love about doing this type of work and this time with you guys.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, so we've just been on stage together here in Shasta with the Lemurian Life Expo, and for sure it's such a delight to co-create with you. And I got to be in the audience while you were doing your transmission, and I was describing to you this feeling I got where it was almost like this like cocoon of like kind of like stillness that was like around me, and you said, oh yeah, that's the
liquid honey.
So it's like, this is what's fascinating is at the level of spiritual delivery, to use a term that you use, we're doing so much of the same work, which is truly, the Stargate is here to assist in the awakening of humanity. The work that you are doing is highly specialized and fascinating in all the ways that you just described, in terms of also creating these pillars of light, this foundation around the world. So when we come together in these collaborations, like, to me, it's like Stargate creates this energy field, and we have so many people now who are so adept at holding that field. And so every single human who's with us is not just receiving an energy experience. You are literally pulling in energy from the quantum field and radiating it. So you're a receiver and a transmitter. And I like to say, Asil, that when we work with you, it's fascinating for me because I'm so used to holding the Stargate field. And when we work with you, I'll feel the field become like a rocket ship where it starts to just lift and elevate, and like highly specific, these alignments that come through. So can you say a little bit, because this is the third Accelerated Ascension we're about to do. In the past, there have been these ascension templates that have come through. And so one of my questions for the guides today is, yes, please give us an update on the ascension process for humanity, but also, what are we ready for now?
I think that was one of the most interesting things when we did our first Accelerated Ascension in Costa Rica, when they started to talk about these ascension templates. And they said that in the human design, from the beginning, there was templates that would activate when the energy levels would be at a certain strength, at a certain frequency, where they would basically be turned on. And that gives us almost like a greater capacity to be able to receive and transmit, and also the way to perceive reality and create reality. So in some ways, it's like you've been driving a car forever, and suddenly you find out there is a secret button somewhere in there that allows it to go faster, better, smoother, and maybe even fly.
And have like a whole new navigation system.
Exactly. Yeah. And I was quite fascinated by it. And we had a lot of people, like from our community, and I believe from your community as well, that said that was very different than anything we've experienced with you. So in some ways, whatever we co-create in that space and whatever the guides can deliver in that space is different than what we normally deliver in our, individualized works.
Mm-hmm. What we've noticed over the last year, and really specifically over the last few months, is the way that Alcazar is working with us now. For years, he's been building up this energy with the Stargate family and teaching us, training us how to hold a field together. And what's been happening more recently is the very way that he's been presenting the energy experience has changed. And you'll get a taste of this when we do the meditation. But what he's doing is he's taking us into a deep space through relaxation, through simply being. And the way that he talks and the energy that comes as he's talking is gently moving us into this place of relaxation where the influence of the mind kind of moves into the background. The mind doesn't necessarily stop, but it slows down. And we start to experience something else because it's the mind and the constant chatter that's keeping us separate from our reality. And as the mind slows down, and as we, how can I say it, as we tend to ignore the mind, just allowing it to go away in its background, as we ignore it and we focus on the stillness and the relaxation, we find that we are going into a deep space and we don't even notice it until we start to come out.
Well, for me, like, what's fascinating about this shift in the Stargate work is clearly we're ready for something totally new. Because in the past, it's been an energy experience, which has been beautiful, and it still is. But what Prageet is describing with the silencing of the mind, it's essentially allowing for this depth of connection plugging into universal mind. And so the Stargate is now becoming truly a consciousness experience.
It's magical. And what it's doing is preparing us individually for our own personal next step. Because that silence allows the openness, the experience, and the guidance from your superconscious self and others to actually reach you. As Alcazar said, the guides are always there. And it's us that puts the barrier around us through just simply the mind chatter and the belief of how inadequate we are. We cannot really yet accept that we're multidimensional beings, that we can expand and hear and communicate with the guides, and that we can start to consciously create our own life experience. We still believe and live as if we're victims of what's going on around us. And that's actually never been the case, but it's been our choice to be victims. And now we can choose to take control, responsibility, accept who we truly are.
So what I'm getting right now is that it's almost as if humanity is waking up from a bad dream. and the beauty is that this waking up from the bad dream means that suddenly you have control over your inner state. And you start to be able to access bliss and rapture and joy and insight and conscious creatorship in this way that truly we're here. This is one of the things Alcazar says is, yes, we are here to experience being human. We're also here to learn how to create in this reality.
Yeah, it all resonates. And the one simple premise, which has always fascinated me, because in the spiritual landscape, there is a subgroup that basically operates, the more complex it is, the more interesting it is. Therefore, it is more spiritual. And I'm somehow of the opposite.
Us too.
The more advanced means the simpler. And if you master the simplest, then you have reached levels of great conscious awareness, expansion. And it kind of also aligns with yogic, Vedic, and Buddhist and Taoist traditions. Like the masters say, we know nothing, the less I know, the better it is. The 0 point of pure presence is mastery. And I feel that more and more to be true. Because I used to be thinking, oh, I need to sound interesting. I need to give people something, for their minds, something to feed on so that they can feel like they want to go on that journey. And now I'm noticing more and more, it's really that how deep of presence can we achieve together, where we are synchronized in resonance and frequency, and that allows for a baseline for this expansion to consistently occur. And the more we do that, the stronger the internal alignment gets, and the further we can go. And the more connections we can receive, the more energy we can receive, and the more of that we can be delivering in our presence. And that's been fascinating to witness for me personally, and also for many of our community members. They basically say the work is getting more powerful, but also more gentle.
That's so true with this silence with the mind, with Stargate too. And this is what Alcazar is saying is the awakening process is not about hard work anymore. In the past, it was needed to break through the unconsciousness. Now, it's really about relaxing. And in that relaxation, there's the part of us that has already been enlightened. And so he says, like, it's just relax and remember. Because before you became human, you came from enlightened civilizations in the stars. There is a part of you that absolutely remembers the awakened state. And I think that's why you're all watching. That's why I'm here. I have zero doubt about that. There is a part of me that is 24/7 vibrating with a kind of craving for higher consciousness. And when we come together, like we're going to do for this Accelerated Ascension 3, it's like we can create a huge tidal wave that lifts us all up. And just like surfing a wave, like it can move you further and faster.
I imagine this giant surfboard where all of us are sitting on and the giant tidal wave behind us. Yeah, it sounds both beautiful and terrifying. I'm just kidding.
It is beautiful and terrifying.
Well, we're right on the ocean in Slovenia.
That's
so we can do some.
right.
Yeah.
There's very gentle waves on that ocean.
That's true.
I do think that this one is going to be about a depth, a kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in some ways, what are some of your internal musings or questions you have to this process today? Like, what do you think would be valuable for us to tap into with the guides today?
Well, for me, one of the things, as I have this gray hair and I've been on this path for a long time and started off in the old kind of spiritual way of working, the old new age, what I'm finding is I have to let go of all my concepts of how this happens, what's needed, this process that we have to go through, and I have to let that all go. And it's very simple just to be, but it's so difficult when you have all this programming and the feeling is, oh, I have to let all that go. I have to let it just be simple and easy. And one of the things that Alcazar said that's just I'm being reminded of right now is that those of us who've been on the so-called spiritual path for many years and are in our 60s, 70s, 80s, we've been holding an energy, an intention, and working in that old way to create a space for the new children, for the new reality. And what he said, actually he mentioned it yesterday in this conference. He said that those people on the spiritual path have been waiting, holding back, in fact, so that the understanding and the rapid evolution that we've been waiting for can happen at this time, so that all of us around the world who've been holding the energies, holding the intention, we can now move forward rapidly so that we're creating this wave of change or contributing to this wave of change of awakening. And there's so much support from all the other dimensional beings. We've all been waiting for this time. For us, individually, personally, in our humanness, sometimes it's been very frustrating. Why am I not evolving more rapidly? And I think when Alcazar said that, I kind of relaxed. And it's like, okay, it's happening. And I can feel it happening now. I feel it with the Stargate work. I feel it listening and experiencing as Asil and the other beautiful beings that we work with. So get ready. Relax.
It can happen.
It will happen.
It's like, I so feel what you're saying, Pri. And for me, what I would want to frame to the guides as a question is, okay, in Stargate world, we came together in Greece on the island of Cause, which I now call cause and effect, because we had 1,000 people in person with us with the express directive from Spirit that we were meant to gather with that much potential energy, that many human beings in the room, in order to create a shift in the timeline of humanity at that moment in time. So that was in October, right before the eclipse on October 14th. Literally, it ended on the 13th. So since then, our lives have completely changed. And so many other people, they've been moving unexpectedly. I had a breakup and a new relationship. Like, my whole life is different. And so it's interesting because it's like, okay, Spirit, you told us we had the capacity to move on to a higher timeline, and then we actually had to rearrange a ton of stuff. And the beauty and the unexpectedness and the challenge and all of that. And now sitting here at the solstice point, June 22nd, 2024, it feels like, to me in my life, those changes are stabilizing. The ripple effects are coming into my awareness of the impact of those things, but it's sort of like everything's calming down. And I'm wondering, because it feels as if like the timing of Accelerated Ascension 3 is going to be September. Elections in America are in November. That's its own morphic field. I will not go there. But basically, it feels like there is a significance, and it feels as if things are somewhat stable in the world right now. And yet everyone's been going through challenges, but on the surface, it's somewhat stable. So my question for the guides is, can you give us any kind of hint about what this time period is about, and even maybe what we might be about to move into?
And potentially how to navigate all of that which is unfolding. Sometimes they always say the same thing. All right, let me give it to you again.
I feel some people cringing when you say it's relatively stable right now.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of chaos out there in the world, and that's actually going to get more and more.
Yeah.
And so when we talk about stability, we're not talking about what's going on out there. We're talking about the potential for us individually when we disconnect our energy from what we see on the news and all that kind of propaganda that's out there that's trying to basically pull us back into unconsciousness. But there's an energetic which is stable, an energetic which we are inviting everyone to connect into. So as the external goes up and down, we're less and less affected by it. And when something impacts your life as a challenge or something that needs a resolution or a change, you don't freak out with it. You go, okay, this is coming into my life. In some way, I've attracted this in order to move on. So maybe there's something I have to let go of. Maybe there's an attitude that I need to change. Maybe I just need to open up to my own inner guidance and just feel and connect into that peacefulness, that stillness, and to allow that calm space that Jules is talking about.
I'm saying relatively stable because things have been so wonky in the world.
It's been quite volatile. Like this beginning of this year, all the way until like, I would say mid-May-ish, there were very volatile waves. And I was feeling them, noticing, I can navigate this. But then I would look around and I would feel into many, even advanced practitioners, people that have been on this path for decades, that they would say, I feel like I'm losing my mind.
That's kind of what I was inferring when I said people like myself who've been on it for a long time, we've become rigid with our concepts, and we have to let them go so that we can navigate these changes in a new way.
Almost like a clean slate. No matter what we have done, what we think we know,
exactly, yeah,
what we think we're capable of doing, just allowing spirit or the divine to just reconfigure us to the best possible state that we can hold. In some ways, that is ascension, isn't it?
And also, that's what's going to be happening when we bring all these people together. Thousands and thousands of people around the world are going to be focusing in Slovenia for this event that we're creating together. And I just want to give it a plug right now. If you are feeling anything that we're talking about, then what we need is for you to bring your full energy, to be there with us, hopefully in person. But if not, to actually be with us online with your full energy. And so I think we need to allow the guides who are hovering.
There's one more thing I wanted to say. We have also solstice that we're just on. And the one thing I realized that, first of all, it's the most amount of light that we have in terms of a day. And it's also full moon, which means the most amount of light in a night. And I was
Interesting.
thinking about it. I'm like,
Wow.
wow, this is a very bright solstice. It's very unique. There's so much light flooding through. And I couldn't imagine a better timing to pick for, okay, let's get a status update and let's pave the way towards the Accelerated Ascension 3 in Slovenia.
And one more piece with the light is the solar flares.
Yes.
The northern lights that were visible in Glastonbury when we were there, which I missed.
In California.
And in California, and this light that's flooding the planet. So
We had in our opening ceremony an almost X solar flare.
whoa.
Ruben showed it to me. He said, I'm not sure if we created this.
Wow. Okay.
All right.
So we invite you all just to totally relax. And we're going to invite our guides to come in and share a little about how they perceive this gathering. Beloved ones, we greet thee. 'Tis Alcazar. As always, it is a great honor for us to be with you as you tune in around your world. We are with you. We are always with you. You have heard from these three, and many of you have been feeling an energy as they have been talking, for we have been supporting their words with a gentle energetic to assist you taking their words and feeling the message, the energy behind it. Your world is changing. And it is time for each and every one of you to understand that you are part of this change. Your willingness to allow the change to occur to you, your willingness to call it forth, to claim the new you. This creates a field to assist humanity. The more you allow this, and the more of you who are allowing this, you are accelerating the awakening process for everyone on your planet. Even those in deep unconsciousness, even those who are trying to prevent this awakening. You are all connected through the morphogenetic field of humanity. And the more of you that raise your vibration, those of lower vibrations are brought up. They start to feel differently as you pull them very gently. It is not about manipulating them. It is about changing the energy in which they live as you change with the energy that you are living in. You are more receptive. You are more creative of bringing the new. Beloved ones, can you sense what we are saying? Over the years we have worked with you, there have been changes happening. They are happening more and more, both deeper and faster. You have probably noticed this. When these two come together, the Stargate Ascension 1, there is always a major shift. The one that will be occurring in your Slovenia will be a massive shift of consciousness for those present. The intention is to create this wave, this energetic of high frequency, loving energy to radiate out to humanity. This is why these three are sat here representing the myriad of beings who are supporting humanity, speaking through these three, so that you can hear and feel the importance of this gathering, the importance of your energetic in the process of waking humanity. It is so easy from your own mindset to think, oh, this is just me. I am so involved in the struggles of my daily life. How can I contribute? Beloveds, that is the old. You contribute by your presence, just by bringing your energy into this communal meditation. Your intention, your presence allows both your energy to change, but your energy, when combined with so many others around the world, you magnify each other. So even if there's 1,000 people meditating together, it has the effect of 10, 20, 30,000 people meditating individually. This is the importance of coming together. We are Alcazar, and we talk on behalf of many.
And so, beloved ones, are you ready to go higher, deeper, further into your own awakening? Understand that when these three come together, and when these communities come together, because, beloved ones, we recognize you, the work you have been doing, the states of consciousness you have been entering, have been preparing you for a whole new level. So we say to you, get ready. Because in a sense, when you come together, there will be nothing to do. The field itself will be elevating. Your consciousness, each and every one of you hearing these words, is ready for a super high frequency involution. And so understand deeply what is occurring in your world. The battle throes of duality, separation, isolation, versus this oneness that is possible, this coming together of humanity to create something that this planet has never seen. There is the potential for humanity to realize and recognize the vastness of the creative resources and to free yourselves. You have been tied to time, to work for money, to survive in this reality. And so many of you are still there. That is all right. That is all right. Because, beloveds, it is not about your external fighting with your external to change your reality anymore. What can start to occur for each and every one of you is a breakthrough into a new state of inner peace. In this new state of inner peace, the peaks in your consciousness that become possible start to infuse into the rest of your life. The synchronicity field, as you reach these resolutions inside of you, as this inner revolution of your consciousness takes hold, the ripple effects through the synchronicity in your life, when you feel at peace with your life as it is, it starts to create a whole new level of adaptation for these times. Because yes, the world is polarized. It will continue to be so in your external world. Internally, new heights are available, and these new peaks can match the intensity of your external world and, in effect, neutralize some of the what you could call trauma, some of the stress. You can feel refreshed so that you know within that no matter what is appearing in the external world, it is all part of this process of the awakening of humanity.
Let us show you a new way.
Greetings. We are Elohim. Despite the many changes you have witnessed within yourself over the years, over the months, over the weeks and days of practice and silence, the changes you will witness that are possible within yourself will be greater than anything else before. Therefore, expecting a certain level of development, the mind will not be capable of imagining. Therefore, transformation into the unknown is once again a path for all of those choosing the peak, the evolutionary frontline of humanity. A part of you has always known change and transformation is required and necessary, is the path of ascension, of evolution. Another part of you has feared change, has feared evolution and expansion into the unknown, this transformation, the familiarity and comfort with the known and the present. No matter how stagnant, how complex or unprocessed it was, the dwelling had become a new normality for most of humanity. Can you allow this natural and intrinsic element within your being to be the guiding light? To allow this intrinsic trust to hold you as you venture into this new unknown. The ascension within humanity, the ascension within the collective is a new unfolding. And together, all of you, together in these fields established, this transformational process is received with greater ease, with grace, a gentleness, a purity, a resonance, and a frequency established to serve all of you together and for you to serve each other. Feel into the possibility of this greatness. Allow this way of being to be the transformational agent, the catalyst, the love and the compassion that the rest of all of humanity requires so that they can rest in the transformation that is occurring, so that they can complete cycles of the past with realizations, with greater ease, with acceleration, allowing with cycles that have gone for hundreds, for thousands of years to complete So they no longer are required to repeat in the manifested reality of your existence of humanity. Realization occurs in this moment and in moments of great consciousness expansion. Realizations can occur any moment you choose to devote this expanded state to. And each realization will truly fuel a new state of being, the ability to hold a greater frequency, a greater alignment within. And with this alignment, a new capacity of existence unfolds. You receive and transmit a greater energy as an unlimited source of this love of creation is available to you. Your capacity expands. And no matter the external challenges, this expanded capacity and alignment will hold you, will guide you, will provide for you, so you can truly sense being provided for all that you could ever need, for all that you could ever want in this very moment. All physical functions and well being being fueled, for the aging process to be slowed down and reversed, for the mind to be cleared of its beliefs, judgments, preconditions, to quiet and relax, to operate optimally, to recognize how to navigate this reality with a clear and aligned ego construct, for the heart to release its complex emotional constructs of unprocessed past, for life experiences to unfold with greater ease and a significant expanded state of love and compassion. For this energetic body of yours to receive the fuel, the nourishment, and the catalyzation required. You all are vessels of the divine. You all are capable of receiving the greatest love, the greatest potential of this known universe and beyond.
And so, beloved ones, we invite you for a moment to tune into your own self, maybe 2 years ago, to remember how your life was then. And now take a look at self in the now and notice change has happened. You are different. You have, over many lifetimes, been programmed to be afraid of change. And some of you still carry this. If you look back and notice change has happened for you, and you are in a better place for it right now, what we are encouraging is to allow us to support you in the next great change that is your potential. As you all gather together in your Slovenia, the amplification of all of you with a similar intent is going to support you in a beautiful, uplifting of your own experience of self. If you can see that change into the unknown is beautiful, if you can allow that old resistance to simply fade away and to open your arms metaphorically and receive the guidance, the support, you will be assisting humanity, making yet another beautiful step forward in the evolution that is happening here. We invite you. Tune in. Feel. It is time. It is time to know thyself. It is time to be free. And so it is.
So some potent messages. I think perhaps we transition into the meditation that we promised you all. So with this meditation, we're going to start off with Stargate. We're going to build a field. My mic is off. So some potent messages. Let's move into some transmission energies and tap into all of this light that's been coming to the planet here. We're going to invite you to close your eyes, get comfortable. If you're new to Stargate, there's nothing to do, but throughout the meditation, we'll invite you to ask inside for various things, and you can just ask silently within. So, for example, the energy of the earth will invite you to ask for the earth energy to come into your body, your energy field. Just silently within, ask if you want to have a strong experience, because spirit is always respecting your choices. So we're going to turn the camera off for the Stargate, and we're going to build a field, and then we're going to hand it over to the guides who come through Asil for the energetic alignments and other work that will be happening here. So let's all just set the intention right now for the most potent energy experience possible. I can already feel there's a kind of stillness building in the field. So close your eyes, drop in.
Beloved ones, we are with you still. As you relax into your body, we invite you just to ask inside, internally, for the energies of the earth, the energies of Gaia to come up into your body, into your energy field.
And so we call for the energies of the earth, the energies of Gaia. And with the asking, be very receptive, for the earth has a consciousness. She can indeed and is responding to you.
And now we invite each and every one of you to invite an etheric stargate, the consciousness of the stargate, to come down around you. And for those of you unfamiliar with the stargate, just visualize yourself seated or lying down inside a pyramid. For the consciousness of the stargate will understand your invitation and will work with you.
And so simply asking inside, we call for an etheric stargate to come down around us.
And all the stargates around the world, the etheric stargates you have called forth, and the thousands of physical stargates are all linking together now to create a field of energy around your earth, so that all that you create together in this meditation is radiated around your earth.
And so asking inside now for all the stargates around the world to activate. We are calling for the activation of all the stargates, etheric and physical.
Very good. Nothing to do, just relaxing into this moment, allowing the body to relax as the energy will gently rise around you and within you. And to support this, we are now going to vibrate your etheric stargate faster and faster. And as we do this, what is occurring is that the frequency is moving up through the energetic levels of the various dimensions. And so we start this process now, vibrating the stargates faster, quite rapidly, moving out of the third dimension, already vibrating in the frequencies of the fifth dimension, accelerating, merging into the sixth dimensional energies now. And as we continue to accelerate now into the frequencies of the seventh dimension, where we pause just for a moment.
And so we ask each one of you now to ask inside for a strong seventh dimensional energy field.
We call for a strong seventh dimensional energy field in all the stargates around the world. And as you ask, your stargate will begin to gently radiate this seventh dimensional energetics to you, and in fact, through you. For these energies vibrate you at a cellular level, even at the level of your very DNA. Nothing to do, not even trying to feel the energy, just allowing self to relax. And as you do so, the energy, your own energy, and the energy around you merge into a harmony. Your own energy elevates, starts to vibrate in harmony with the seventh dimensional energies around you. It is this simple, it is this easy, nothing to do. In fact, doing gets in the way, just relaxing and allowing. Very good.
Very good. And so we continue now to vibrate all the stargates faster still. And so we are doing this now, and all the stargates around the world are lifting up through your eighth dimensional frequencies now, continuing into the ninth dimension, vibrating faster and faster, lifting up through your 10th dimensional frequencies into the 11th, and vibrating rapidly into the 12th dimensional frequencies now, where again all the stargates come to a gentle pause.
And so as your stargate vibrates at this higher frequency, just asking inside for your stargate to radiate a strong 12th dimensional energy to you and around you.
So we are calling for a strong 12th dimensional energy field in all the stargates around the world.
And again, nothing to do, just relaxing, just allowing your own energy to continue to elevate, almost as if it is magnetically drawn into the 12th dimension just by you relaxing and allowing. And as many of you know, as you start to vibrate in this energetic, you become more sensitive to the many guides and beings who are available to assist us in this awakening. And so we are going to invite into this meditation the presence and support of the angels. So just each one of you asking inside now for the presence of the angelic realm,
And so we call for the presence of the angels.
and feel. Just notice the energy changing around you as the angels bring their presence into this global meditation. You can invite them to come closer, relax a little more, feel their loving embrace. Very good. And now, the Master Yeshua, Jesus, is wishing to bring his energy of love into this meditation. So we invite each one of you to call forth his presence. In fact, it's already beginning to happen. Add your invitation
We call for the presence of Jesus the Nazarene.
and feel, inviting him to come closer to you, to support you with his loving presence. Can you relax and allow the energy of Yeshua and the angels to nourish you right now? And the beautiful divine feminine energy, the energy of compassion that is held by Kuan Yin. So let us invite Kuan Yin into this global meditation
So asking inside, we call for the presence of Kuan Yin.
and feeling once more as her energy joins us. Here she comes, joining Yeshua and the angels, creating a field of oneness, supporting each and every one of us. Yes, very good. And each one of you have many guides. And so we ask you to invite the presence of those guides that are there to support you.
So just asking inside, we are calling for the presence of all of the guides who wish to support us in this awakening.
And feel, here they come, feeling almost like a warm blanket of energy as so many beings bring their energy into this global meditation, creating a beautiful field of support and relaxing into it. And as you relax, just focus on your own inner stillness and allow the words and the energies of the Elohim to take you deeper.
In this transformation and evolution, in this ascension process, the parts of you, the parts of the human form that have been designed from the beginning of its inception, will start to activate based on the individual's readiness, availability, and its energetic construct, fueled with the potential that moves through this earthly plane. These ascension templates that are developed and designed to support the individual in its ascension process and through the individual, the collective, will activate and support all functions of your being in the human form, the expansion of your consciousness, and the greater ease of receiving this great transformational process. Your service in this world, your presence in this world will be potentiated significantly. The adjustments provided today are merely the beginning of this process. Thank you for receiving this work. We will now commence with the adjustments. Thank you for receiving this work. This transmission is complete.
And so, beloved ones, take a moment and tune in and feel your own energy, your own vibration. And just notice you are vibrating in a higher frequency right now, just by relaxing, just by allowing. And as we gather in your Slovenia for a week experience, can you imagine how much your frequency, your vibration will change, will elevate? Can you allow yourself to move rapidly along the path that you have been wanting for so many lifetimes? It is now. You are ready. Just the allowing, just the intention is all that is needed. We invite you. Come, join us. Be part of the change we have been yearning for.
So just feeling any shifts in your level of consciousness. Perhaps something has dropped away. Maybe you've received some insight. Maybe you just feel stillness and peace inside. We invite you to write in the chat about your experiences, share with each other. These experiences are multidimensional. There are layers and layers and layers of what people are experiencing, and you are being worked with individually in these energy fields. So the attunements, the alignments that are coming through are individualized for you, what you need in the moment. Hello.
Hi there.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
Well, another beautiful experience.
Yeah.
Yes. It really feels like the precursor to something very powerful, very important. And I do feel that despite the great challenges that we may continue to face externally, we also have great support, and maybe even greater support than those challenges. Can we get to a place to receive them?
That's the key, right?
Yeah. Being open enough to receive what's there.
Opening the door. And there's nothing to open the door like devoting 4 days in a row just to being in these fields. Experiences can happen that can't really happen in an hour-long live stream. So we're officially opening the registration for the live stream, but we're also going to really invite you to come in person, because it's so powerful when you step outside of your ordinary life and you come to the physical location. Our support team has the photo of the group room pulled up. We're going to be right on the Mediterranean Sea in Slovenia on the coastline. There's 3 different hotels that you can come and stay in. And so this is going to create a microcosm of community, and we're going to be able to go super high together.
Yeah, these hotels are all within a couple of minutes. They're all on the same campus, so to speak, right on the ocean. And there's a 3-star, a 4-star, and a 5-star to suit your financial arrangements.
Yeah. So come join us if you're feeling the call. Just do it. I promise you, it's so worth it. The field gets so strong. It gets really strong on the live stream. It gets so strong in person. It's like being in an ocean of energy.
Yeah.
And also just the communal experience of being together with like-spirited, like-minded, and maybe soulmates on a long journey together, reconvening on Earth in human form again to remember why we're here and why we're doing this. It feels almost like coming back together, all these familiar faces, even those that I have never met in human form before, all these familiar energies, and this love that's present, that's so unique to these in-person gatherings.
And it's also, if you haven't had that experience before, being in a large auditorium with people from all around the world, literally all around the world. I think there's about 70 different countries that are part of the Stargate family. And people come and feel, and it's so beautiful to feel that we're all the same. We all have such similar desires
We just did a
to
workshop.
awaken.
Yes, we just did a workshop in the Azores with only 88 people, and there were like 14 different countries there. So
And like 10,000 people on the live stream.
10,000 people joined us for that day 3, session 3 transmission where we were lifting planetary constriction. So we're growing a powerful force.
Be part of it.
Yeah. So you're invited to check out the registration page. Join us for the live stream for sure. It's going to be so powerful. If you can, join us in person. And we want to also say, for those of you who might have any kind of financial limitations, please don't let that be the reason you don't join us. So just write to our support team, support@thestargateexperience.com. Email us and we can work something out. And also, your support is so appreciated. We always make for the live streams 3 different prices. And that's so that there is an entry level that is likely to work for everyone. And then if you feel to support us more, you can.
So, thank you all so much for being with us. Greatly appreciate.
And we're actually going to be doing a Lionsgate transmission on August 8th, 8/8 Lionsgate. That one, we're going to bring it. We're going to be focused really on the meditation. So please join us for that. You can get there by going to that link for the registration page, and there's an RSVP link. And so if you RSVP for the free pre-events, you will get emails with the meditation from today. You'll get emails about the Lionsgate. So sign up and we'll see you there.
Very excited for it. Lionsgate is always, blowing the roof off kind of experience.
Yeah.
In a good way, of course.
It's become an incredibly potent spiritual transmission day because so many groups
Really?
around the world.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you all for joining. We love you very much, and we look forward to seeing you in spirit, in person, in whichever form it happens to be.
Okay.
Much love.